So today I'm going to show you how I make a smaller batch of rolls, and I use a bread machine. And I actually have never, at this point I might try later, but I've never made actual bread in there. But it has a setting that can make it just end with making the dough. And so I actually went and got this. It's been some years. After my husband retired, the kids were gone. We still wanted fresh rolls sometimes, and even actually when the younger two were there, it makes quite a few rolls. I'm thinking of at least a dozen, maybe 18
depending
rolls.
On the
size. Depending on the size of them. Yeah. And so the thing that I like about this is that you can set it for when you want the dough ready. So you say I'm going to be gone for 3 hours and I want to have dinner, after an hour after I get home. It'll be the perfect setting. So I set the timer for being done in 3 hours, and then I have this nice dough. I will form it onto a pan in dough globs. And let it raise. So as I'm putting the salad and stuff together for dinner, it's raising, and then it bakes for 15 minutes, and you have fresh, warm rolls. And this is a recipe I got from Debbie, my daughter-in-law's mother. And because I got this at the thrift store, there's no instruction books, and I'm not going to really tell too much. I'll tell you how this works, but you'll have to figure your own machine out. And if some of you have them and just making bread, I really like fresh rolls, and so it's a fun thing to do. So that you layer the stuff in here, and the most important thing is that you don't want the yeast to get any moisture in it. And so I put it in one corner, so I kind of tilt it and pour it in, so it's going to the bottom corner here.
Move your thumb. Okay.
And then I'm going to put the flour in. I'm going to put the flour in. I'm kind of putting it on that to kind of stabilize it, because you want that in the corner. And then I'm just putting the rest of the flour in.
So it kind of stabilizes that corner.
Yeah.
And the yeast is protected.
Yes. And this is, that was 2 teaspoons of yeast, and I've pre-measured the 3.5 cups of flour. Usually I just measure right in there, but I wanted to be fancy and pre-measure everything. So this is 3.5 cups of flour. And you just kind of put it on top. And then I'm remembering that the yeast is in this corner here. It takes a 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of powdered milk. Now, I usually mix all that. I would have mixed that in with my dry ingredients ahead of time. Most of the time I am measuring right in there. So I'll just take the top part and kind of fluff. Mostly the sugar won't make any difference, but the flour, I want to make sure it's kind of incorporated so you don't get clumps of powdered milk. So, okay, and then also a teaspoon of salt. And that's all your dry ingredients. Okay. Now I'm going to make a little hole here. So I'm going to make sure all the liquids kind of go on this side over here. And I've got an egg. I'm going to kind of stir the egg up, and then I'm going to make enough water in the measuring thing to do 1 1/3 cup of liquid. And then I'm going to just take this and pour it in that little well.
It's in the opposite corner from the yeast.
Yeah. If it goes over, you've got the flour protecting it, so it'll be fine.
So the yeast is in the lower corner.
Okay. So you put it in here. This one you put in kind of swampus diagonally,
Does it kind of lock in place?
and then it locks in place. There it goes. And so it locks it in place. And you just shut it. Then I plug it in. And like I say, this will be different for yours. So this one you select the kind of bread, whole wheat bread, French bread, sweet bread, dough. And if I started it now, it would be an hour and 20 minutes. But so I'm gonna say I want it to start in 2 hours. And then I'm starting it. Just realized after I just barely started it that I forgot the oil. So I'm just gonna go in here and in the liquid part, just add the oil. So now it's set, and we'll be back in 2 hours to show you how I make the rolls. Okay, now the dough's done, the timer beeped, and it was an hour and 20 minutes. And you just take it and you undo it here, pull it out, and you can see the dough in here. It kind of fell as I was bringing it in, but it's nice, perfect dough to work with. So now I'm going to just take it out. I just put a little bit here so I can work with it not in the pan. So I'm going to just put a little oil there, pull it out of this thing. Just a really nice textured dough. Yep. So this is the only beater thing. It just snaps in the bottom so you can take it out and just wash it. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of slowly does it, but it makes a nice dough. So now I'm just going to take it. I have my hands greased, so I can just take a little. Sometimes it's a little stickier. Might have had a little bit less liquid in here, but it'll be nice rolls. So how I just make them is I somehow like hitting them. I don't know why, if that's my aggressive personality or what.
That is quite a bit of dough.
Yeah, it makes quite a few. I'm kind of surprised that little thing you would think, not that much.
How much flour?
3.5 cups. Okay. Yeah, I like a little oil on them.
Yeah.
So. I'll probably put them 3 across. Okay, I've got just part of the pan ready. I've got more dough, so maybe it's going to take a little bigger pan than that. I couldn't remember.
Maybe 2 of them.
But Bonnie was just telling me about a method she does for making the rolls. I just do it just kind of like you've seen me do. So go ahead, Bonnie.
Okay, I'll break this little oil on here. A wet paper towel under the board keeps it from sliding. Yeah. I roll it into an oblong dough. And you can make it pretty thin, but if you have a long enough one, you're not doing individual rolls. You just that's the biggest work is this.
Yeah.
But I do it longer. I do it longer. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
we always are in for 3 here.
Then you just, like you would a cinnamon roll. One stuck a little. Just like that. And then you kind of pinch it to yourself. But, sometimes they roll open a little bit, but they look pretty. All of it looks.
And we use just a knife.
I just use a knife. And then I probably want one do that high. And you can
smash it. Oh. But I don't know if you can see on camera, but you can kind of see the cinnamon roll looking.
But you see how fast that would be like that.
Yeah.
And just will work out fine.
So I don't. They're smaller, probably a nice size too.
And they will rise. Yeah.
So we actually got a pan and a half of these.
Where'd you get?
And it depends on how big they are. So
you did get 18.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 12 and I found those and 18. So 18 rolls is not bad.
Those are good size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are big.
And I did Bonnie's method here, so
Which should be even faster if you're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
how to pop.
yeah, Bonnie's much faster than I am, but these are plain, these are fancier, so it's
Your customer.
so I'm gonna bake them in a 350 degree. I'm gonna let them raise until double. Usually it takes about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then I'll bake them for about 15 minutes. Depends on 350 degrees until they're kind of golden brown and cooked through. And then we'll come back and taste them for you. Wish you were all here, taste them with us, but sorry. Okay, now I have these rolls are ready. You can tell they're ready. You can push down and it doesn't spring right back up. So you kind of see it's soft and they say double in size, but I don't think it's quite double in size. It doesn't sound puffy. I'm going to put them in that 350 degree oven for about 15 minutes. Oh, I should say these, I didn't mention before, on these pans, Diana has these Silpat liners, so you don't need any oil. And so it's really nice. They come right off. If you don't have it, I spray them with Pam and just put a little oil for flavoring in there. So either way, it's parchment with parchment paper wax. So it depends on what you have and what you want. So I'll set timer for 15 minutes. We pulled the rolls out. I think I should have taken them out just a little before, but they're still good. Depends on how golden brown you like them. So here's the ones I make just in the little ball, and here's the one in the little cinnamon rolls. I like how they popped up and stuff like that. And we're also going to taste test the honey butter. If you've not seen that post, I'm going to put this taste test on both of the videos. So I got a little bucket. So this makes a little roll, and it's not hard. Like it's hard. I would actually let this warm to a little more room temperature till it's soft. But this is easy. You can take out a amount you want and cut it very easily for a chunk. So we'll just have a taste. Take which one you want. Okay. Okay, I'll take the 3 in a row.
Well, these rolls are so hot that they're very
Rapidly melting. Pass.
There's acts like I'm playing too.
It's fluffy and nice.
Why?
I think it's good texture on the roll.
Like, about
And good on the butter.
delicious with very little effort.
It's not real sweet honey butter, so you could add more honey and more cinnamon to taste.
I think it's like that.
It's kind of fun just having just a touch of sugar, not overpowering.
Yes.
Anyway,
Really good.
thank you.
Delicious.